Hello and welcome to Afternoon Tea with Karen. Let's have fun with documents part 4 regarding the Victorian government's response to the inquiry into anti-vilification protections. And we're going to read more by clicking on the blue bar that says read more on the consultation. That opens up the web page of Engage Victoria. Strengthening Victoria's laws against hate speech and hate conduct. So in 2021, there was a parliamentary inquiry and a report done that found that the law does not do enough to prevent or address vilification. So they had a public consultation, which was between July and October in 2023. You look at the timeline on the right there, and a report back on the consultation came out on the 24th of May 2024. We invited people to make written submissions or complete surveys in response to 3 consultation papers, which we've had a look at in previous videos. And what we heard, a summary of the feedback from the public consultation process is outlined in Report Back, Strengthening Victoria's Laws Against Hate Speech and Hate Conduct. Brought to you by the Victorian Government and the Department of Justice and Community Safety. Table of contents. Current anti-vilification protections. In Victoria, people are protected from vilification based on their race and religion under the Racial and Religious Tolerance Act of 2001. People who are vilified for reasons other than their race and religion, such as their gender identity, sexual orientation, or disability, are not protected under current laws. Vilification is different to discrimination and sexual harassment, which are covered by different laws. So in 2019, they had a parliamentary inquiry. In 2023, the government launched an extensive public consultation process to seek community and stakeholder feedback on broader changes to strengthen anti-vilification laws and protect more Victorians. So our extensive consultation approach was phased throughout late 2023, so communities had time to meaningfully contribute. We consulted in 3 stages. Stage 1, we asked for feedback on extending anti-vilification laws beyond race and religion to protect more Victorians. Stage 2, we asked about ways to streamline criminal anti-vilification offences to make the law more effective. And stage 3, we asked about ways to strengthen civil anti-vilification protections to better address vilification. It was on Engage Victoria's webpage, inviting public submissions for 102 days. There were 619 survey responses via the website. 122 written submissions were made. It was done in multiple languages, and there's traffic on the Engage Victoria website without any terms and references at the end. So, protecting more Victorians from vilification. It's the first consultation paper. We asked for feedback on expanding the existing criminal and civil anti-vilification laws beyond race and religion to protect Victorians who are often experience vilification based on their sexual orientation, gender identity, sex characteristics, disability, HIV or AIDS status, and personal association with the target group. We also asked whether the law should be changed to clarify that people can make vilification complaints for more than one reason, as people may be vilified for multiple attributes. For example, an Aboriginal woman may experience vilification due to both her gender and race. So there was broad support for that. Some people considered that mental health should be protected as a separate attribute from disability. Others suggested that more attributes should be protected, such as caste, homelessness, class, drug user, and sex worker. We heard views about the protection of gender identity, citing concerns about limiting political discussions about gender and the right to freedom of expression. However, some people considered it shouldn't be an issue, and there should be lawful limitations on the rights to freedom and expression. There was broad support for clarifying that people who have been vilified can make civil complaint to the Victorian Equal Opportunity and Human Rights Commission and or VCAT based on multiple attributes. There's also support for ensuring that criminal charges for serious vilification can relate to multiple attributes. A few people expressed concern that this may result in civil complaints or police reports, being overly complicated or misused. We heard from many of those extensive people, many legal and community organisations, on the importance of recognising how different aspects of a person's identity can expose them to multiple overlapping forms of vilification and discrimination. So, improving criminal anti-vilification offences, stage 2, we asked for feedback on how to change the laws to streamline and improve criminal offences. Proposed changes include broadening the type of behaviour captured by criminal offences, whether serious vilification should require a public act to take place using the New South Wales definition, lowering the threshold for committing an offence to include reckless behaviour, whether the Director of Public Prosecution's approval should continue to be required before a serious vilification matter can be prosecuted, and increasing the maximum penalty. Simplifying existing offences. Most people thought that creating multiple criminal offences to respond to serious vilification would be unnecessarily complex. Most people also supported the proposal that criminal vilification offences should be moved to the Crimes Act of 1958. In regards to clarifying a public act, there was some support that for the criminal offences to apply in specific private places, including workplaces, schools, and semi-private online spaces. There were mixed views about capturing reckless conduct in the criminal offence. Some people supported this reform, while others expressed concern that it could disproportionately impact marginalised groups rather than target extreme conduct. Requiring the Director of Public Prosecutions to provide written consent to proceed with prosecutions. There were mixed views about keeping this requirement. Some considered the requirement a vital safeguard against improper prosecutions, while others considered it an unnecessary barrier to effectively prosecute seriously vilifying behaviour. Some people opposed harsher penalties, citing concerns about the impacts on the rights of freedom of expression and concerns about criminalising religious beliefs. Number 3, strengthening civil anti-vilification protections. To strengthen civil protections, we asked for feedback on a range of possible changes to the law, including changing the legal test for proving incitement-based vilification, clarifying that people need to prove that conduct is likely to incite hatred against other people, introducing a new civil harm-based protection to restrict certain things people say or do that would cause harm to others, including a definition of a public act based on the New South Wales one, changing the religious purpose exception to align with the forms of religious expression used under the Charter, changing the public interest exception so that it would apply only to speech or conduct that is for a genuine purpose in public interest, considering any additional exceptions to vilification, allowing the Victorian Equal Opportunity and Human Rights Commission to request information, such as from social media platforms, to help people identify who vilified them. enabling representative organisations to make complaints to the Victorian Equal Opportunity and Human Rights Commission on behalf of an anonymous person or group that has been vilified, streamlining anti-vilification laws by moving them to the Equal Opportunity Act of 2010, and expanding the Victorian Equal Opportunity and Human Rights Commission's powers to address systematic vilification, such as by issuing practice guidelines, assisting VCAT or the court by providing information on how to interpret and apply the law, conducting voluntary reviews of an organisation's programs and practices, and conducting investigations in certain circumstances. So there was broad support for clarifying people only need to show that the conduct in question is likely. Others considered the change would limit the right of freedom of expression because it would make the law too subjective and easy to prove. Introducing a new harm-based protection. We heard diverse views on introducing that. Some people considered the proposed new law would be too subjective and could be misused. Clarifying the Public Act bit. Some groups supported and individuals supported, including a definition of public act in the law. Changing the religious purpose exemption to align with the Charter. Some faith groups have had issues with changing the current religious purpose exception. They said they were concerned about their ability to express their religion under the proposed change, preferring to keep the existing wording. There's broad support for adding the word genuine. Clarifying that VCAT can order a person to take down online vilifying material. Enabling representatives to make complaints to the Victorian Equal Opportunity and Human Rights Commission on behalf of an anonymous person or group. Most groups supported this change. However, many of the most expressed concern that this would lead to false complaints and could impact people's ability to properly defend a complaint made against them. So allow the Victorian Equal Opportunity and Human Rights Commission to help people to identify who vilified them. So they can send VCAT to hunt the people down through the social media platforms. There was general support to streamline anti-vilification laws by moving them to the Equal Opportunity Act. Some people were concerned that this could lead to unintended consequence and preferred to retain the laws. Expanding the Victorian Equal Opportunity and Human Rights Commissioner's powers. Some people were concerned and some said it didn't go far enough. They heard some other views regarding education, training and culture, funding and reporting tools, timing of reform, focus on educational settings, of course, support for communities, therapeutic approaches, improved responses to online vilification. We heard about the need to address the challenges enforcing existing protections against online vilification, including the blurring between public and private online conduct, difficulties clearly defining what constitutes online conduct, and addressing anonymous posts. Next steps. We value all feedback which will help inform changes to the law to better protect Victorians from vilification. The government will continue to consider all feedback received as it develops changes to the law. Hate has no place in our community. Heard that one way too many times. And that is that. That's the final. Enough from that. Let's move on to something else. Okay, see you later. Bye.